Hey guys, this is Ejay here. Today I'm going to be going over the Radial puppet speed emotes that I've been doing. It looks something like this. You get this Radial puppet, and then you can just control the speed of the emote by going around the puppet. You do this with any emote you want. Some look better with others. The default loop emotes, such as the dance, cheer, and the clap, look really good. Things like the backflip will look a bit weird, but you can just fine tune the speed of the animation and you can get it looking pretty alright. You can see that looks a bit weird with the head snapping, but it's fine. This also works with custom emotes. You can get that going, speed velocity, heart's desire, the Macarena, do whatever you like. And then you can also just completely stop the animation, so you can do funny things like doing a backflip and then just stopping in midair and have a lot of fun with it. So this is how I do it. Okay, so once you get to Unity, you want to find your avatar, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting completely from scratch. So if you just want a quicker version of this tutorial, go down to the description and skip to about 45 seconds into the video, and I just quickly go over the speed puppet side of the tutorial. I'm going to show you how to set up your emotes as well. So what you want to do first off is you want to make your parameters and menu. So you come down here to expressions, and then you click customize, and then you got this menu and parameter section. So you want to find a folder, and then you want to create a parameter menu. So sorry, parameter, create parameter, and then also a menu. So you can see we've already got VRCEmote, face blend H, and face blend V. You want to add another one called VRCEmoteSpeed. You can either have this saved or not. I like to not. So that's our parameters done. In your menu, make a new control. And I like to submenu my menus. So we're going to turn this into a type submenu and call this like default emotes. And pretty much we're going to make another menu, tutorial emote menu, and we're going to link the two. So go back to your tutorial menu, and then you want to find, oh actually if you have a big list like this you can actually just drag it in, but else find tutorial menu. And then we'll be setting this up later, but it's going to make more sense and easier if we do our action layer next. So you want to go back to your avatar, and you want to drag in those that new menu and the new parameter components you just made up. So next you want to set up your action layer. So we just make room for that. So you can see it wants a runtime animator controller. Instead of making one from scratch and wasting a bunch of time, we're actually just going to go to the VRC SDK, examples 3. You're going to go animations, controller, and then you want to find the VRC avatar v3 action layer. So then you want to control D, and that'll duplicate it. And then you want to find your folder that you've been working in. Drag that back over there. And we'll call this tutorial action layer. And there's a bunch of stuff going on in here. There is a standing component, and then there's a sitting component, and then there's an AFK component. What I like to do is just instantly delete this sitting component, and then I drag up the avatar component. Alright, so once you've done that, you want to go to your parameters, make a new float, VRCEmoteSpeed. Make sure this is named as the same thing in your parameters. If these aren't the same name, they won't like link up properly. So make sure those are the same. And then you can go back to your action layer. And now we're going to start working on our emote menu. So the reason I went back to here is you can actually see this is VRCEmote equals 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. And you can clearly see the names of each animation here. So what you can do is you add a new control. We're going to call this wave. And traditionally you would make this a button. So if you don't want to do the speed emotes, I don't know why you wouldn't, they're fun. You can either make these buttons or toggles. If it's a one-shot emote, so if it has loop in the name, such as this clap, you want to set it to a toggle. So it just keeps clapping, it keeps looping. But if it's just a kind of one-shot done deal, you just set it to a button. but we're actually going to plan ahead and set these to radial puppets, which are like the wheel I showed earlier. And so this will give us a parameter and a parameter rotation. So what all these are going to look like is it's going to be the parameter, which is when we actually activate the puppet, we're going to change the VRCEmote integer. So it's going to check this, and we're going to change it to 1. So once we change this to 1, it's going to go up here. That's what this is doing. And that's how it's talking to this animator and functioning. So then on top of that, when you rotate the wheel, we want to change the float, which is VRCEmoteSpeed. So that's our wave done. You want to go through, you want to do your clap. Again, if you weren't going to do the speed, you just turn this to a toggle, but change it to a radial puppet. Change VRCEmote to 2, because you can see this arrow, it says 2 now. And then rotation, same thing, VRCEmoteSpeed. That's going to be the same across all of them. So you can go through and do it for all of them. Okay, now with die, you probably just want to keep this on a toggle, because the way die is going to work is a bit different to your standard emotes. The whole idea of the die mode is you kind of just like lay down on the ground and you stay there until you untoggle it again. So just probably keep that as a toggle and make sure that's 8, the same as the arrow pointing to it. All right, so that's your emote menu done. So now we actually have to tell the animations to use the VRCEmoteSpeed. So what you want to do is you want to go to each emote. I think you can actually do this. You can actually just highlight them all except die. Die we don't want to speed up. You click parameter and then make sure it's VRCEmoteSpeed. And now they've all got VRCEmoteSpeed as a multiplier. So what this is going to do is it's going to multiply the speed of the emote by the multiplier, which we are now controlling with the menu. So once you've done this, you probably want the emotes to be a lot faster. So I found they're not fast enough at this speed. So in my other controller, so I have all the one-shot emotes. So the non-loops, I have all of them set to 3. I found 3 was a good speed to make it not look ridiculous or like cut in, because what happens with the one-shots is they play this super quickly and it has a long return time, but it just plays the emote super quickly and it looks really messed up, while the loops will actually stay here. So the loops can actually be as fast as you want. And I have these set to 10. So one shots 3, loops 10, and I have the die just on 1. I don't actually want to affect this at all. It's fine by itself. Now I'll show you how to do custom emotes. So what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to have your action layer up. And once you've set all these different speeds, so I'll just set all these real quick. And what you can do is you can actually click and then hold down Control and then find all of them. Change them to 3, go loop, set those to 10, die you don't have to change, it's all good. Alright, so what you want to do, if you want to do a custom emote, we're going to make a custom emote wheel. So make another control, change it into submenu, and we're going to do custom, and what we're going to do here is we're going to make another menu. I'm going to call this tutorial, can't spell today, default custom emote menu. Go your menu, link the two, else you won't be able to access the menu in the first place, and say, okay, now we're going to find the emotes we want. So once you've downloaded some emotes, you can find them around the internet. Let's say you want to download the Crip Walk, the famous Crip Walk that a lot of avatars have. So you can drag this into your animator and kind of like organize them. So I want this to be the first button, and then say we want to do breakdance, do breakdance next. All right, so I've chosen these 5 different animations that we can play around with. I like to instantly set up the parameter. So we want to change, we want to apply that emote speed variable, and I like to set these to 5. You can set these to whatever, it's custom. So if you find one of these animations is a bit too slow for you, you just change this number to whatever you like. So now we're going to go back and fix up our menu. So I'm going to add our controls. So go crip walk, set us up the exact same. So what I like to do with custom emotes is I like to start the value 101. We're going to call this breakdance, radio toggle, and it's going to be 102. And do this for all your emotes. But do keep in mind that in each menu you can only have I believe it is 8 controls. Yeah, you can only have 8 controls. So keep that in mind while you're doing your submenus. If you want to have a lot of emotes, you'll have to do a bunch of submenus. So maybe you could have a emote submenu, which then has 8 different submenus of emotes if you really wanted to. But good luck remembering all of that. Alright, once you've set up all your emotes and you've gone from 101 all the way up, you want to start setting up your animation layer. So what you want to do with these emotes is you want to connect them from prepare standing to blend out stand. So you can right click, make transition, and then right click again and make transition. And make sure you just click on the one you want. So it's just right click, make transition, click, make transition, click. But before we do the rest of these, you want to make sure you go to this arrow that goes from wait for action or AFK to prepare standing, and there's a condition in here, VRCEmote less than 9. So it's only checking from 0 to 9. So we want to click on this and then remove it. So now it's just checking VRCEmote is greater than 0. So, you know, we're choosing an emote. Okay, go up here. And then it's going, okay, is it 3? Go here. So you want to finish making all these transitions. Alright, so what you want to do with these custom animations is you want to click on the first arrow going into it, and we'll just drag down this preview a little bit. You want to uncheck has exit time, and then give it the condition VRCEmote is equal to whatever you did in the controller. So we set it up so we did top down is from 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. So this dab is going to be 105, while the crip walk is going to be 101. Make sure to always set it to equals. So all of these are going to be the exact same logic. The breakdance is going to be equals to 102. Loss is going to be equals to 103. And this is going to be equals to 104. So once you've done the entries, you want to set up the exit transitions. So again, uncheck has exit time, and now you want to do the reverse, which is not equals 101 or whatever your top emote is, and then you're just repeating the exact same thing, except it's not equal. And the reason we chose 100 to like start our custom animations, there's no reason. you can start these off at 30, but then if you say had sitting animations and you set your sitting animations from 10 to 50, if you start your customs at 40, they would start overlapping and start using the same number. So it's just better to just, hey, staying emotes 100, you know, get them out of the way, so there's just never ever a chance of you clashing and then being like, what's going on to my emotes? But once you have that all set up, that's all the logic done. So now we can go back to our avatar and drag in our action controller. We can actually just go in game with this. This will work perfectly fine. There's probably some little things we can work on, but we'll just see how this comes out. Alright, so we're in game with our avatar now. So you can go to the expressions menu, and there's the 2 menus we made with all of our defaults and then all of our customs. So we can check the clap, speed it up, slow it down just fine. Go to the wave, speed it up and slow it down, works just fine. And backflip works. Completely pause the animation if you want. It works just fine. Die just works the exact same. And then you have your custom. So we go to the crip walk. You can see it works just fine. Slows down, speeds up. And yeah, this is fully possible. You walk around and you do just fine. but one thing you may have just noticed there is with the default local motion layer, a lot of the all of the animations will break when changing altitude. So the clap's actually pretty resistant to it, but if you say do the crip walk, you can see that our head starts tracking again. So what will happen in VR is if you go up or down in altitude in VR, your hands and your head will actually start tracking again, and then your legs will start shifting around everywhere. So in order to fix this, you can actually just Google into the browser, Locomotion Fix, and you'll see this first one or the second one, get either one. And what you want to do is you want to just get it for 0, or you can support by giving them money. So once you download the RAR file, you'll get this Unity package. You can just extract it. Extract here. I've already got an older version, so I'm just going to replace it. And then you want to find it. God help your Locomotion. Pretty fitting name. And I've already got it in my package, so I'm just going to re-import everything, which means I'm going to have to do all my settings again. Isn't that going to be fun? So then what you want to do is you want to go to default local motion, and you want to find that local motion layer fix. So once you drag this in, you want to go and double click it, and it will find it in your project folder. Then we want to open this up, and it'll show in the animator. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to be changing our crouch and prone animations. So if you want, it should actually be fixed from just importing this. But if you want to fix your proning animations and crouch animations from looking like this, if you want to look like this when you crouch, power to you. I don't like to. So what you can do is you can go from the local motion layer, from initializing, you go to your desktop, and then you go crouching, you double click it, and then you click on this component here, and then you just want to replace this motion. So this is like a blend tree. So when you go like left, you like start crawling to the left, you start crawling to the right when you go right, etc, etc. So what we want to do here is when the motion is nothing, it plays this motion. So we want to change that to whatever we want. But what I like to do is I like to just change it to crouching VR. Crouching VR is okay. Just your arms crossed and you just crouch down. Looks fine. But make sure to also do this in your VR path. So you can go back. So to go back, you can go to top left, click local motion, and then you want to go crouching VR, and it's the same thing. You got this crouching VR. Say if you didn't choose the exact same motion I did, you can change this to your motion of choice, because they will be different when you're in desktop or you're in VR. So we can go down prone. We can change the prone from the spread leg position to anything you want. So I'm going to change it to, alright, I'm going to be changing my prone animation to this casual sitting idle animation. So what you can do is you can find that, crouch load sitting idle animation. If you want the same animations as these, you can go to rsammer.com/download. And I'm pretty sure I just got these from this 60 plus animations download. So you can grab some animations from here and you do the same as me. But also again, make sure to go into your VR route in the local motion, which you want to go to VR prone, and then set the same thing, and you want to set the same thing. So when you're actually in VR, what will happen is your legs will come up, because you've got no tracking points for your legs, so the legs will actually fall to the animation, but you'll still be able to move your arms and your head the exact same. But yeah, once you've done that, you can re-upload your avatar and you can see the difference. Alright, so once you've imported your character, you'll now be able to do animations and be able to change in height. So you can go up these stairs and have no problem. Click on this mirror. See, we have no problem now going up and down these stairs and jumping around. Do the tab. You can also do default emotes now and go up and down with no issue at all. The only problem you would probably face is if you crouch, then you'll get this effect where it re-grabs the tracking when you crouch up and down. But if you're in VR, I haven't actually experienced this at all. You should be able to play space fine and move around with no problems, but when you're in desktop mode, it tries to re-grab that. It tries to re-grab your tracking points, which would be your head, and it kind of messes up. But yeah, that's how to do the speed emotes and set up your avatar controller and everything like that. You also now get the benefit of having custom crouch animations in VR and desktop, and also prone animations. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.